Hello, today we're going to talk about self compassion and how you can use it in your recovery from parental narcissistic abuse and complex PTSD. I'm going to talk about why it's important for the recovery process, also why it's effective, and I'll give a way to practice it so it can become a habit and so you can incorporate it in your life. My name is Nala Love, and my channel builds community to support your recovery process from parental narcissistic abuse and complex PTSD by sharing the truth about parental abuse and its long term effects and tools that may help you in your recovery process, going from post traumatic disorder to post traumatic growth. So, what is self compassion? Self compassion is being mindful of our struggles. It's responding to our struggles in a compassionate, kind, supportive way. We need that in order to be mindful about the reality of our life situation, of our lives, and just respond to our lives in a more mindful way. Because what we can do is we can get preoccupied in a difficult feeling, and we can go from not wanting to have that feeling to saying we shouldn't have that feeling to something's wrong with us for having that feeling. And we can get trapped in that painful thought pattern. Self-compassion can break that up. I learned self-compassion with a therapist a few years ago, and it's absolutely the foundation of my recovery process. I mean, after I learned self-compassion, it started to become a way of thinking, a part of my self-care. Everything else in my recovery was built on top of that self-compassion habit I built. From being able to change my diet and stick to it, over a process, just getting on the track of true recovery. It started with self-compassion. My therapist and I worked through a book called The Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook by Doctors Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer. There is also a website, I believe it's selfcompassion.org. I'll link the description and a link to this book in the description as well. I'm not an affiliate of any sort. It's just something that my therapist and I worked through all the exercises and reflections and meditations, and we went through one chapter every session at a time, just slowly working through the book. And it was just it's an awesome book. It's one of those books that I'm going to keep going back to. Self esteem and self love, we hear a lot about it, and it's very important. But I'm going to say that I believe self-compassion is even more important. They're important, but self-compassion to me trumps both of those. And I'm going to tell you why. Self-esteem depends on largely the state of your life at the time, and for self-love, it depends on who you ask what that really means. Self-compassion, the only thing self-compassion does not require for your life to look any kind of way than what it looks like. It doesn't require you to be any kind of way than how you are. It doesn't require you to be better than anybody else. It doesn't require you to look better than anybody else. You can always have self-compassion. So you can have a really crappy day and you don't know how to get out of it. If you develop the habit of self-compassion, those skills, you can always have self-compassion for yourself. And if nobody gives you the compassion you need, you can give it to yourself. So it's important, I think, to develop those habits. It's difficult, but we can develop those habits to have self-compassion at any time we need it. The second thing and that's really important that self-compassion gives us is mindfulness. It gives us to be mindful about ourselves and our lives and the situation that we're in, and we're not cycling painful thoughts and lost in it. Self-compassion gives us that mindfulness, hence the title of the book, The Mindful Self-Compassion Book. And it's very, in that way, it's important to our recovery process because we can get stuck. Recovery is a process. We're learning and we're growing, and if we don't know how to get out of painful thoughts, we're stuck. So self-compassion is important to get us unstuck and get us on the healing journey to post-traumatic growth. Essentially, self-compassion is treating yourself the way you would treat a friend that you love, someone you love. How would you treat them? It's a practice of treating ourselves the way we treat somebody else that we care about. There are 3 core elements to self-compassion, and the first one is self-kindness. Second one is common humanity, and the third one is mindfulness. Self-kindness is offering ourselves warmth and unconditional acceptance. Offering that to ourselves. The second element is with common humanity, and that is basically, like it or not, where human life entails suffering, and that goes without exception. Every human suffers. No matter how perfect our lives are set up, we're not in control of every aspect of life. We don't know what's going to happen that day when we get up in the morning. And so no matter how perfect somebody else's life seems to you, if they're human, suffering comes with it. So that is the idea behind common humanity, that element. The third element in mindful self-compassion is mindfulness. And mindfulness is being aware of our moment-to-moment experiences in a clear and balanced manner. So I want to share with you a way that I was able to incorporate self-compassion in my life, because it's something as a family scapegoat, I didn't, that was a foreign concept, self-compassion. But how I did it, what worked for me is self-guided meditations that Dr. Kristen Neff has on the website for this book. You can download it to your phone. They all last around 20 minutes. There's one that's like a 5-minute self-compassion break. I'll utilize that in the middle of the day. If I need like 5 minutes, I'll listen to that. But I did those meditations for a year, every day for a year. The book recommends that you go through the book slowly, a chapter a week. And then you practice self-compassion for 30 minutes a day. And so what I did was I did my 30 minutes with a self-guided self-compassion meditation, because I already had the habit of meditation. So I replaced the meditation I was doing with the guided self-compassion ones, and it was great. It changed my life. In the description, I'm gonna put a link to the book. I'm going to also put a link to the website where you can download those self-guided meditations and check them out. Check out the book, read through the book, and see if it's something that, if you have a therapist, you might want to ask your therapist, if you ask them if you want to go through the book together, just one chapter a session, or maybe linger on a chapter for a couple of sessions. Or if you have a partner, I've heard some people that they meet once a week and they talk about their week, someone that they trust, and they both practice active listening while each person talks about their week and how it went. If you have somebody like that in your life, you can work through this book with that person together. Or if you don't, if either option right now is not an option, you can just pick up the book and just read through it slowly, one chapter a week. Go through all the exercises. Do the exercises that work, the reflections that work best for you. Check out the meditations. I'll be creating more videos on recovering from parental narcissistic abuse and complex PTSD, going from post-traumatic disorder to post-traumatic growth. If I missed anything about self-compassion, let me know in the comments. If I didn't mention something that you think is key, mention it in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and click the notification button so that you're notified when I download a new video. Also, if you like this video and you think someone else may help them, please share it. Thank you for watching.